What's up, WordPress Warriors? Patrick Gallagher. It's Saturday the 4th, yeah, April 4th. This video is going to be short because it's just come to my attention that there's a shitload of work that needs to get resolved. I apologize if you can hear my kids out there. Fortunately, I don't think they can hear me because I don't talk that way in front of them. But yeah, so I think sort of the overall strategy of this video, or the strategy that I want to talk about, is basically just personal responsibility and ownership. I've talked in the past about the reason that Jeff is my co-founder is because I've never worked with anyone in any facet of life who took more ownership than he does. And I think that it really just comes down to, like, if there's something that you believe in and there's something that um, you want to throw yourself behind, you take ownership of it and you do it in a way that the people who actually own it can't believe the level of commitment that you show. And then ownership really goes beyond that to, you got to own the good and the bad, okay? And right now it's just come to my attention as of an hour ago that one of our users has waited more than 8 days to get an issue resolved. And so as soon as I found out about this, I was actually coloring with my girls, and I started going in and digging in and looking and seeing, like, okay, we've got, the average wait times on chats, those all look right, satisfaction looks good, everything's going in the right direction. But just over the last week or so, we started to build a backlog. And it was before any of the LTD stuff. It just started to creep up on us, and now we have dozens of tickets, some of which have been waiting for days. Okay, and part of taking ownership is you see this and you go, well, looks like I'm working my face off on tickets this week. Okay, and fortunately, I've reached out to this user, and they seem to be willing to let us try and make it right. But then it's got, a couple other people have come in and they've had similar issues over the last few days, and I think ultimately, what it is we have people on our team that care really, really deeply about the things that they take ownership for, and I think that they know that all of us are working really, really hard, and it's stressful. It's a stressful time for everybody, and I think that they've just been trying their level best to grind away at it and bash their heads through that wall. But really, at the end of the day, I need to do a better job of just having complete visibility on all of these things. For such a long time, I haven't had to worry about tickets. It used to be my job 12 hours a day. My focus is obviously on all kinds of other things right now, but I have to get back to this because it's not acceptable, waiting days for a resolution. If you're waiting days for a feature request, that's one thing, but days for a resolution for a problem, that's not okay. And so we already had people on the books for hiring. We've started to implement changes internally about how we're going to process every single ticket. But I wish, to be honest, that I could make this post sticky. Apparently you can't make someone else's post sticky. I can mark it as an announcement, but I can't make it sticky. Apparently I have to make a post, which that's what I will do with this video, is make a sticky post that just says, hey, look at us, we're dicking this stuff up. And all we can do is lean into it and make it better and resolve it, and not try and hide from it. We see we see so many people that have moved ultimately off of a different host to us because hosts have problems. Like, the bigger you are, the more problems you're going to have. But generally speaking, I think that most other organizations do a really good job of just kicking the can and not owning stuff, and that's not what we're going to do. And so for those of you that have been frustrated with our support in the last few days, understand that shit is not okay with us, and that's not going to be the new normal. This all sort of comes as a surprise to me, and it's not okay. And so all I can do is say, this is my fault, and I'm going to do everything that I can to try and fix it. And not just yell at the team. I'm already talking to Jeff and interfacing with Gabriel and Bobby, and we're going to figure out where we broke down on communication here and what we're going to do to make it so that this doesn't ever happen again. So if you're seeing issues like this, ping me directly, okay? I want to know about it, and I want to do everything that I can to make it right. And so we will make the proper investment and we will make the changes internally, so that this becomes a thing that's very, very rare, and that if it does happen again, hopefully I'm even more surprised at that time, because I truly believe, and I've told our team over and over and over again, we are a customer support company that just happens to make hosting software. And so sometimes it's really easy to get distracted and get focused on the software, or it's really easy to get focused on handling chats really, really quickly, and then certain chats end up getting tagged as tickets, and then they sort of creep out. The life cycle of a ticket sort of starts to creep out, and we can't have that. And so, to those of you that have been impacted by this over the last week or so, I apologize. We will be getting to the bottom of it, and we will be figuring this shit out. Books. The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. I recommend almost all of his books. His first couple I wasn't a huge fan of, but a lot of his stuff that gets into stoicism and just, the ancient art of turning adversity into advantage, like taking ownership of the problems and the challenges of your life and not making it about external constraints. Like almost every aspect of your life that you've got trouble with, almost all of it, there are things that you can be doing to make things better. And so owning things and leaning into the challenges that you face is a really good idea. Because at the end of the day, what's the alternative? You can blame somebody else, and what good does that do? Okay. Or you can actually just take ownership and have a positive impact on things that are troubling in your life. So there's that book. Children's book. I promise we're going to take a break on children's books, or at least we're going to change age groups on children's books. But if you've got younger kids, The Book with No Pictures is really, really good. It's this guy, BJ Novak, who was in The Office. And I don't know if he's written anything else. Oh, he has. Oh, they're just translations. My Book with No Pictures. It's really good. And it gets the kids laughing because you have to say stupid words and look really silly. So yeah, big picture strategy, take ownership, lean into the challenges, and then I don't have a good tactic. What's something? Oh, don't cut your own hair. Yeah, just tactically, it's just a bad move. So I hope you're well. Again, as always, stay safe, take care of you, take care of yours, stay home whenever possible, and yeah. Reach out to us in the various Facebook groups, email, chat, etc. And yeah, enjoy your weekend. Cheers.